Chintai, what is it? Why do we need it? And how do you use it? What is Chintai? Chintai is a high-performance, feeless, community-owned token leasing platform now live on the EOS mainnet. To better understand Chintai, we first need to understand how EOS works. EOS has three network resources: RAM, CPU, and net. RAM is used for storing data on the EOS blockchain and is traded on its own market. The price of RAM is set by the Bancor algorithm based on supply and demand. A 0.5% fee is applied to every purchase and sale to total 1%, which is then deposited into the EOS IO RAM fee account. CPU is the rate at which data from a storage device can be read, aka processing power. CPU bandwidth is used when transactions or actions are put into play, just like a normal processor on your PC. The longer you run a program, the more CPU is required. As more transactions appear on the network, CPU bandwidth will be used more. When it's not in use, it slowly refreshes over a 3-day period. To reclaim EOS tokens, users can unstake at any time. All EOS tokens are returned to the user and fees are not applied. Network bandwidth is the average rate of data transfer that takes place through a communication path. Your bandwidth is temporarily used each time a transaction or action is done on the network. The more tokens staked for network bandwidth gives the staker access to more throughput on the network. To reclaim EOS tokens, users can unstake at any time, all EOS tokens are returned to the user, and no fees are applied. Why Chintai? Well, the EOS network is designed so that the cost of using the network for 1 month is equal to the cost of buying the right to use it forever, minus the proceeds of selling 30 days later. This is the current EOS resource allocation model. With a volatile market, you can see how this is problematic for companies to deploy on the network. Enter Chintai, a fully functional token leasing platform that will allow EOS token holders to generate income through token leasing, while in turn providing critical resources needed by dApp developers. The high-powered Chintai leasing engine will allow for instant algorithmic execution of market transactions to create a thriving token leasing platform. In layman's terms, you list your EOS tokens on the Chintai Exchange. A dApp or some other entity borrows your tokens for a set period of time at the rate agreed upon through the exchange, which is based on what the free market decides at the time of the transaction. Here's a real-world example of how Chintai will be utilized. This is a hypothetical scenario. Let's say you're a dApp developer and are launching on the EOS mainnet. To run the transactions on your dApp, you need 50,000 EOS staked to CPU and net. At the current market price of EOS, $5.60 let's call it, the initial cost to host the dApp on EOS will be $5.60 times 50,000 for a total of $280,000. This upfront cost and added market volatility make it expensive and high risk for dApp developers to launch on EOS. Now let's see what the cost would be using Chintai to get us off the ground. Instead of purchasing the 50,000 tokens on the open market with all the volatility involved, we head over to Chintai where we find plenty of EOS available to lease. So we're going to select the borrow here. We'll go up to the market lease periods. There's 4 of them, 7, 14, 21, and 28. We're going to just select the 28 day. We'll use the interest rate that's right here, the last one that's sold. So 0.28%. We're going to get our 50,000 EOS, put in a bid for that. You'll see here, total interest that we owe will be 140 EOS for the 28-day leasing cycle. So at the end of the 28 days, when we owe the 140 EOS, We'll multiply that by $5.60, total of $784. This is much more manageable than coming up with a total of $280,000 to get this dApp off the ground, and we don't have to worry about the volatility of the crypto markets. In the future, as the EOS network becomes more widely utilized and more dApps start deploying, resources will become more scarce and valuable, which will cause the token price of EOS to increase, which in turn makes hosting a dApp on EOS more expensive. Chintai will be the solution to keeping the cost of the network affordable for dApps. Okay, let's head over to the Chintai Exchange and go a little bit deeper into some of the features of it and how to actually use the exchange. If you're at all familiar with a regular crypto exchange, this is going to be no different to you. Everything will look familiar. We've got the markets up here in the left-hand side, 7, 14, 21, and 28 days. They are all their own market with their own rates and their own order books. So your order book down here below, you can see what the asks are right now. We've got someone's asking 28 days at 0.1%. It'll give you your APR rate right beside here. So usually the 7 days, the best APR from the past, observing the past week or so since this thing's been live. But you do the math, you figure out what the best rates are for you and your scenario. To log in, right now it uses Scatter. I do believe other wallet options are coming. If you don't have Scatter, check below the video. I'll post a link for the Scatter website. It basically is the wallet to use right now for most applications on EOS. So click login there. Scatter pops up, log in. We'll click the demo account I have here. A little message pops up in the bottom right there. Welcome back. Very nice. So now if we want to lend, this account has 34 liquid EOS right now. In order to use Chintai, you do have to have liquid EOS. So if you're staked, you would have to unstake. It takes 3 days to unstake, and then you can start lending out your tokens. A little side note, when you do fill a lease, or when you're lending your tokens and a dApp borrows them, it will be put into the account, and Chintai, I believe, does have a proxy. It's not live yet, but they will. I think the next couple of days or week or so, we should see some more information on the proxy and how they are structuring that. I've talked to some of the people involved, and they did say it's going to be a very transparent, very community-driven decisions on the proxy. So we'll be waiting that, anticipating that, and see what they come up with there. So let's say we'll just do a demo here. We'll lend out our tokens here. Well, let's do 0.2%. We'll put in the amount of EOS we have available, 34 EOS. For a 7-day at 0.2%, that's going to give us 0.068 after 1 week of lending. Obviously, that's not a lot, but if you do have more tokens, let's say you have 1,000 tokens, you're going to get 2 tokens back at the end of the week for 0.2%. So if you just had them sitting in your normal wallet, staking them, not earning any interest, why not put them on Chintai, earn a little interest? Who knows where the rates go as the market starts heating up? We should see the rates, spike, and we've already seen them up at, over 0.2%. I've seen some at, like here, if you look at the 28.28%. So that's pretty decent, depending on how much EOS you have, and you can earn a decent little passive income by staking your EOS. Anyway, let's lend out these 34 EOS, show you how it works. Scatter will pop up here, a couple seconds. Hit accept. Order submitted successfully. So pretty quick, everything bing bing pops right up. we can go down here, see our open order. Tells you the date, time, rate, amount. It'll show you the fill amount there as soon as it starts to fill. Once it's filled, it should be over here in active leases. You have a history here of your orders. The 24-hour market history down here. You can see what people were lending and borrowing for. If you want to check the on-chain transaction, since every transaction done on Chintai is executed on-chain, you can just click this order number. It'll pull up blocks.io here. We can see we sent 34 EOS from Elam demo account to the Chintai Lease account. If we click Chintai Lease account, it'll bring us over here. We can see right now there are 1.077 million EOS currently being leased. This thing's been alive 11 days and already over 1 million EOS being staked. There's not a lot of dApps yet on the EOS ecosystem, so you can kind of see where this thing's going. So if we head back to cancel an order, very simple. Just click the little X here. Scatter will populate again. Click accept. Order removed successfully. Simple as that. The same thing applies to borrowing. So if you're a dApp, you'd head over to the borrow tab here. Just be careful if you're a lender to not mistakenly click the borrow tab. It's very self-explanatory here. They got the little I, the little info tab there, pay interest to others in exchange for CPU and net. And then the lend here, lend EOS to others in exchange for interest payments. So it's all explained, and you have little pop-ups that tell you what you're doing, so you won't make any mistakes. So if you haven't checked out Chintai yet, I encourage you to go check it out. Down at the bottom here, you'll see the BPs that sponsor it. Nation, obviously, that's us here. We're a sponsor for the project. You got DAX, Sphere, Dublin, Oracle, Tribe, EOS, Canon, 42, New York, and Detroit. So a lot of reputable VPs backing this project, keeping it free for the community. That's what the sponsors do. That every BP who sponsors this is staking tokens to make sure that the platform has enough CPU bandwidth to run and keep it free for the community. Anyway, to log out, same thing as logging in. Click one button, boom, you're out. That was just a brief overview of how to use Chintai, and please go check it out. If you have any questions, comment below and we'll do our best to answer them.